In this video of CSS, we will discuss about grid property. And in the previous video, we have already discussed about flex property. If you want to learn about those things, then click on the I button which is on the top right corner. Now we will discuss about grid. The grid layout model offers a grid-based layout system with rows and columns to make it easier for design web page without having to use float and positioning. Display grid property is used to divide a block into the number of columns and rows. So what is grid columns and rows? The vertical line of a grid item are called as a columns and the horizontal line of grid items are called as a row. The first property is grid template columns. The grid template columns property specify the number and the width of the columns in the grid layout. The values are specified the separated list where each value specifies the size of the respective column. For here, auto value occupies a column width according to the content. One effort occupies a remained width of whole block, and 200 pixel takes the fixed width. Next property is grid template rows. The grid template rows property specifies the number of rows or height in the grid layout. Same as column, the values are space separated list. Note that the width or height can be a fixed percentage or a fraction of free space in the grid using the FRU. Next is grid column start. The grid column start property defines on which column line the item will start. Next is grid row start. The grid row start property defines on which row line the item will start. See, the child fifth is moved on the first. Next property is grid column end. The grid column end property defines how many columns an item will span or on which column line item will end. Next is grid row end. The grid row end property defines how many rows of an item will span or on which row line the item will be end. Next property is grid column. It is a certain property of grid column start and grid column end. Here first value is start and second value is end. It start from second column and end in fourth. Next is grid row. It is a certain property of grid row start and grid row end. The value are same as column. Next is repeat function. The repeat function is used to how many times the row and columns will be repeated. Here 4 is defined that the column will repeat 4 times and the 1 fr is the width of the column. Next is min max function. The min max function is used to set minimum and maximum width of an element. Here minimum value is 150 px and maximum value is 1 fr. So grid column takes minimum 150 pixel of width and autofill specify the maximum column fit in the block. In the next video, we will discuss about media query in detail. If you want to learn about that, then please stay with us.